Hey guys, welcome back to the Community Cares Podcast. I'm Dave, and I'm the Executive Director here at Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet.
Are you sure?
I don't know, am I?
Hi guys, I'm Chaplain Chaz Blackburn, and I have the honor of being the president. And if you've watched the show before, then you know Dave and I pick on each other. So
it's not nice. My feelings are hurt, bud.
Oh, you're a little sensitive because you're about to have a baby, right?
Oh, I know, and it's been quite well. Actually, by this episode, the baby will be born.
That's right.
Yeah.
Darn it.
That's right.
Baby Stevie. Uncle Chaz is really excited. So, well, we have a really special guest. I say that most episodes, but this person does an amazing job at this program that really helps our youth in the city and surrounding areas. And so I'll let this Meghan introduce herself.
Yeah, well, thank you guys so much for having me. Definitely enjoying the back and forth between the two of you. That's really fun. I like to call that a bromance. Two close guy friends get along really well.
His wife might kill me.
She might.
It's so important for all of us to have important, close friendships
right.
like that. So it's lovely to see. But yeah, no, thank you again so much for having me. And I am the founder and executive director of Skiing is Believing, which is a youth-based sports organization, a nonprofit here in Reno.
That's great.
We started in 2018, so yeah.
I can't wait to hear more after our events, but you guys do a lot more than skiing, right?
We do. The name sometimes amongst our board, I don't want to say it's a point of contention, but it is a point of discussion.
Oh, okay.
Because, I always joke skiing is believing, but so is lacrosse and volleyball and rock climbing and rugby and every other sport that children can do and try to experience to help grow and challenge themselves.
Awesome.
But it's catchy, though.
It is catchy.
It is.
It's
That's
catchy,
the thing.
like-
I'm a little married to the name.
Yeah, I'd be too. That's
Yeah.
catchy. So, I mean, Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet. We have had discussions on our name because it's a really long name, and everyone gets it wrong the first time they say it. Every single person gets it wrong, and that's fine. We go by GSCC a lot to simplify it, but yeah, a lot of people say, "Oh, Good Shepherd's Closet," or "Oh, it's the Shepherd's Closet," or it's it's fine.
Yeah.
But the reality is we've been in the community so long with that name that our board believes it'd be a mistake to change it because people know whether or not we're open, right? They know Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet is where you get free clothing.
Yep, it's important. Branding is tough. It's tough to change a name. Yeah, a lot of organizations who try don't always succeed.
No.
Especially in the nonprofit world. It's tough.
Absolutely. So today's November 4th, and we have some great events coming up in our community. And we just want to thank you guys for just sticking with us and being a part of what we're doing in the community, and sharing this video, being a part of what's going on. All you hundreds to thousands of people that watch this and listen to this, it is such a blessing to see those numbers every single week. People want to hear Chaz and I make fun of each other and a guest be tortured the entire time. It's great. And this doesn't happen without listeners and viewers like you. And I know I'm saying the PBS thing, but it's true. It really doesn't happen without people like you. I mean, we don't get huge grants that some other organizations get. We do get some, and we have some great supporters in the community. But if you look at our baseline, it's individuals in the community that give that $5, $10, $20 a month. That's what keeps us going as an organization. And so we just really want to say thank you so much for just partnering with us in that way.
And even if you can't financially donate, we just want to thank you for sharing these podcasts and bringing awareness. We love going over local events because it's so important to get out and just be able to be a part of the community, and we're stronger united. And I learned something new about these organizations every single show and episode.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of times where I come into the episode knowing almost nothing about the organization, just like Skiing is Believing.
Yeah.
I know almost nothing, so I'm really excited to learn. And I mean, we're episode 63, I think, today.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of episodes. That's a lot of different organizations we've spoken to. And, organization-wise, we've probably spoken to 40-ish, maybe a little bit more organizations because we've had some repeat people on and some other things.
Community leaders that weren't necessarily with a local organization, but yeah.
Yeah, no, it's been great. Thank you for being on this journey with me, Chaz. I appreciate it.
It's an honor. I know I learned about Skiing is Believing at the recent Thank You Ma'ams, or 2 Thank You Ma'ams ago when she beat you out.
Great.
For
that
presentation.
Yeah. It's great.
Just kidding.
Wow, buddy. Thanks.
That's a tough group of ladies. What an amazing organization, though. Shout out to Thank
Full
You,
support
Ma'ams.
on them. Yeah.
They do a lot for the community, especially local nonprofits. I love it.
Absolutely. So let's dive into our upcoming events going on in the community. The first one is our open house fundraiser here at Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet, 540 Greenbrae Drive. That's coming up next month on December 3rd. It's $5 to get in. You get a drink and a raffle ticket, so it's not like it's just you pay $5 to donate to the organization. You get things with that donation.
Nice.
So $5, you come in, you get a drink, you get raffle ticket, and then you're a part of the event. We're going to be doing a live Community Cares broadcast, and our idea is that it's going to be a hybrid between in-person and online stuff. So you'll be able to buy raffle tickets and other things for specific online options. We've already got a $250 gift card for Moana Nursery, $50 gift card for Target, all sorts of different things, and because of people like you who are donating. So thank you for being a part of that, and we would love to see you down here, either in person or digitally.
I'm excited too. You can for $1,000 donation, you get to pie David in the face.
What?
Right? Did we
Wait,
didn't
what?
discuss that yet? I'm just kidding.
If you donate $1,000, then Chaz wears a bee costume.
If you buy the bee costume, I'll wear it. How's that for a whole day?
All right, fine. I'll get pied if you wear the bee costume.
I will too.
You will?
Yeah,
in a bee
absolutely.
costume?
Whatever. Yeah, $1,000 for the organization.
That sounds great.
I thought I heard you say earlier it was 2 pies, but I could be wrong. Yeah.
We'll just make it 3. So is that a Monday?
That is
December 3rd?
Tuesday, Giving Tuesday.
Okay.
Yeah, December 3rd
So I have
is
to
Giving
see you
Tuesday.
2 days in a row for that?
I know. Well, no, we're going to move our episode to Tuesday
Gotcha.
that
Okay.
week, just so then we can have that live broadcast nice
for
and
letting me
long. You're welcome. Now you know. Well, you should have asked Myra. You know Myra runs everything.
Yeah,
right?
that's true.
So we're really excited for this, and if you're interested in being a part of it, you're a past guest or a community figure and you'd like to be on the show that day, we're going to have a lot of people on and some other videos or other things. Just let us know if you want to be a part of it. We really want our partners to be a part of what's going on in the community and being a part of what's happening, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We also have, I wanted to throw this event in there real quick, if that's okay.
Please.
November 14th, we are doing the official Circle Life Guest House, which is Nevada's first social model hospice guest house. The ribbon cutting, actually, and it's going to be at San Rafael Park in the Garden Courtyard Museum. Have you ever seen that?
No, but I got to be
it's
there,
so
dude.
beautiful.
What time is it?
It's going to be from 3 to 5, and it's going to be a Reno and Sparks Chamber of Commerce ribbon cutting.
That is so
we have,
cool.
200-300 people, hors d'oeuvres, drinks, and it's going to be just the whole community coming together to learn about the project.
Is it a closed event or is it an open
It's
event?
completely open.
Okay,
we want
good.
the entire community to come out.
Good. So definitely be there and support this. If you're not sure what the Circle of Life Guest House is with the Circle of Life Foundation, they're actually a micro closet partner with us. And definitely learn more on episode... I can't remember. The one with Andrea, the last one. She is the treasurer of the board on
Andrea
there.
Pelto. That's right.
And a good friend. So
I know you know her.
Yes, I was going to say, I know
In
that.
fact, she's right outside with pizza. So
Is
you get
she?
to see her.
Oh, how exciting.
she's always hanging out. She loves hanging out at Good Shepherd and with Chaz and myself because she is an awesome person. And awesome people like Chaz and Andrea and all these other community partners just come together to make the community a better place. And that's what it's all about, is being the change you want to see in the world.
He said our little cliche.
Yeah, but we say it wrong. We say it
Be the
wrong every
change
week.
Gandhi
you
quote.
want to see in the world or wish to see in the world, but we like to bring on guests who are embody that, and I think you definitely do. So
Well, that's kind. I try, I guess. I hope most days I just hope I'm successful in some way.
Well, that's what it's all about, is growing as organizations and growing together. So that is a great event. And also happening on the November 14th is at 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. is the Tahoe City Fall Harvest Market. And they have
Ooh.
seasonal produce, crafts, and gifts. And you can support local Tahoe stuff. So you can go there in the morning. Then you drive down to San Rafael to go San Rafael, right?
Yeah.
To support
Rafael Park.
Circle of Life.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love it. And that sounds interesting.
In November too.
Yeah.
That's great.
I wonder if they'll have like hot apple cider or pumpkin spice.
Get some.
Nice.
I know. Yeah, there you go. I like spiked apple cider, hot apple cider.
Oh my goodness! They used to have, the old 395 to Carson City. They had this pumpkin patch, and they had the best pumpkin fudge, and then they shut down like
Wait, really?
five years ago. Yeah,
dude, that's terrible. Why would you break my heart like that? I want to be there.
Well, the new freeway. Actually, it was probably just recently. How long has that freeway been there?
A couple of years now.
I've lived here.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least 10.
Has it really?
10?
The new one? No.
395?
No. The new one.
The new one. The connector to Carson.
Yeah.
It's been like that long.
Man, I feel really old.
Wow, me too, dude.
I'm telling you, I've never known any different.
Moving on.
Moving on. I know, we're like deep Reno locals, though.
Man,
We grew up, born and raised here, dude.
Yeah, full disclosure, non-native over here. So moved here in 2013. So at least since then.
Dang.
Sorry, Chaz.
Where'd you live before then?
I'm from Pennsylvania.
Okay.
That's the only other state I've ever lived in.
Back east, right on.
Yeah.
Do they have skiing there?
Yes, believe it or not. Small hills. They're all, small hills, mini mountains if they're having a good day.
Yeah.
But there's actually 32 last count ski areas in that state.
I think that's awesome, and so we'll not talk about the last event because we're going to talk about it again next week. But there's lots of things to do in the community. The reason we highlight the community events is we're trying to encourage our listeners and viewers to be out in the community, to have those community connections. And I've said this on the show a lot. There are times where I will go and grab my laptop and work at the Hub or Lighthouse just to be around other human beings, because you guys see this recording studio space, there are no windows. So and sometimes I'll work in here, but most of the time it's good to be outside in the community, talking with other humans, creating interactions. And so that's why we highlight the community events we do, is to encourage you to be outside in the community and to run into people, to have conversations, to be doing something more than just sitting around and doing nothing, because that's the easy thing to do, is to sit around and do nothing.
For sure. You can always play sports too. So talking about our amazing nonprofit organization, which is, I think it's critical for our community when we see youth suicide rates and those issues, the mental health issues that we're facing. I think that this is a great way to help prevent or at least combat that, and to help, design purpose and get kids involved in different things. So tell us a little bit about your organization and, how you got involved and, why you founded that and what it's all about.
Sure. Yeah, 100% agree. There's a number of things, right, that make up mental health. And I've always been a big believer that sport and physical activity is absolutely one. Luckily, it's not just me going out on a limb saying that. There's, at this point, more research than I could cite in a short or even long podcast that backs that up. And, when Dave and I first met, I think he heard me say the line when I gave that presentation that sports are mental medicine. Mm-hmm. And lots of things are. I feel for those who are very artistic and creative, I think art can have a similar positive outcome. But I've just always believed in the power of sport and movement, not just for our body, but for our minds and that mind-body connection. So Skiing is Believing, like I said, I founded it in 2018, and our mission has been the same since day one. It's promoting, supporting, and easing access. And when it's written on paper, you'll see in parentheses, snow and bike, then sports, the word sports.
Okay.
With the idea that, all sports are good for all kids because they have the power to change lives. They make you feel good physically. There's physical changes that can happen. There's neurological changes that can happen. You develop crucial life skills that, enable you to, get a job, keep a job, have lovely conversations with, strangers, people skills, time management. That's what I'm still working on, not gonna lie. But teamwork, and I'm sitting in the room with two parents, soon to be parents, and everyone wants their child, right, to grow up and know how to handle things well when things don't go well.
Absolutely.
Right? To lose with grace.
Ooh.
Right?
That's a big one.
That's a big one in life. Because if you can't handle adversity, you're going to have a real hard time.
Yeah.
And if you also every time you win and things go well, if you run around the room and scream and brag and act like a jerk, you're also going to have a problem making friends, right? And keeping friendships. And so these are all things that, sports are a great teacher. So I wanted to create an organization that focused on movement and sport, and all of them. And, skiing is the sport that has impacted my life the most as an adult, not necessarily when I was a youth, but certainly from when I was a young adult until now. And it bothered me because I was working in the ski industry for, at this point, it was probably like 10 years, I think.
Okay.
And I was coaching competitive kids who were skiing competitively and traveling all around for skiing. And these kids came from families that had, by any world standard, right, resources,
Sure.
Good ones. Maybe by U.S. standards, some of them were maybe middle class. Certainly some were, a little higher of a socioeconomic background. And they were great kids, developed great relationships with their families, loved it. But it killed me that there were kids who would never have any of these opportunities because of a situation that they were born into that had nothing to do with them. And they would never get to experience the great joy of sliding on snow and the beautiful, peaceful serenity of standing at the top of a mountain on sunrise.
Yeah.
And as we mentioned earlier, I'm not from Nevada. And when I moved here, and I was 28 years old, I think, when I moved here, and I was meeting friends like my age or younger, and they grew up here and they stared at those mountains every single day and never spent any time in them.
That's so crazy.
And that broke my heart. You know? So I wanted to do something. I wanted to create an organization that could knock down barriers to sports that typically have high economic barriers or travel barriers or seasonal barriers, even sometimes, to entry, while also focusing on what amazing things can happen internally and externally when we participate in these activities.
Wow.
That's brilliant. I grew up skiing, so I mean, since I was 5, my parents put me on skis and pushed me down the hill, right?
Love it.
So I've done it
Are you a
forever.
skier or a snowboarder?
Skier.
Oh,
Been skiing ever since. Do you snowboard?
I do. I used to.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go to the mountain. We'll see what happens.
We'll set up a ski date this winter, you guys.
Let's go, bud.
Oh man,
I
fall on my face.
but-
for a long time.
I think I just recruited 2 new volunteers.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, how about that?
I'd be interested, honestly. I love skiing and I love sharing it with people. But I've been skiing for a long time, and that was always a big part of my life because it just felt so freeing to just go down the mountain and to be with friends, right? To have that social interaction, but also to have that time alone to see nature and be a part of it all, and that rush, that feeling of going down the hill. It's something different for sure.
Yeah.
So for me, skiing's always been a big part of my life, but I haven't done it as much. Now I'm getting older, now I'm busier, and I want to do it more. So yeah, definitely I think impacting the community the way you are is an important thing for the future generations, because you're right, there's economic barriers where people are looking at those mountains every single day. It's 30 minutes to drive up to Rose. Sky Tavern is what, 20 minutes maybe, 25
Yeah, I'd say
minutes?
25, like 5 minutes. Yeah, it's close.
But it's so close, and because of economic barriers, they never even get an opportunity to even try it, right? And that isn't, I think it's vital to give children the opportunity to be able to do those things, to try different sports.
How do people refer to you, or do you partner with the schools or children's cabinet, or how do you get heard about in the community?
So that is not a simple answer, because there's a myriad of ways, to be honest, Chaz. So we have 4 different services. I can elaborate on them later if you'd like, but we have day camps, which we offer. They're all-day camps, and at the very baseline level, they provide childcare for parents who need childcare when their kids are not in school, but they're still at work. That's based on the Washoe County school schedule, and that's the multi-sport format. So certain sports, of course, are seasonal in that, and then we also introduce the kids to the notion of community service during our camps too. So they're giving back in the community. They're going to different nonprofits.
I love that. I had no idea.
That's my favorite part.
Yeah.
So those always happen if it's a full week or multiple weeks in a row. That always happens on Wednesdays. That's their day of rest for their body, but it's the the push and the stressor in a positive way for their heart and their mind to learn to give back and care about others and understand that, hey, if you like growing up in this area, it takes a village to make this a good community. And there's a number of organizations that step up to kind of help fill gaps.
That's great.
So the kids get to kind of feel like they've contributed, which is wonderful. So we have our day camps, we have after school programs at a number of schools. Some are public, some are private, some are public charter schools, and those are all request by basis. And then we have our specialty coaching programs, which are the sports that we specialize in, our flagship sports, and anything that's a transfer learning sport to those flagship sports. And for those who aren't familiar with what that means, when you have a specific physical skill in any sport, when that physical skill is transferable to another sport. So a great example is inline skating or ice skating is very, very similar actually to skiing. The skills are transferable.
That makes sense.
I could see them being similar, but I'm not very good at ice skating. I can ski with people. I can keep up on skis, but ice skating, I'll fall on my butt. It's terrible.
You want to go?
And that hurts.
Let's go, buddy.
Well, you guys are committing yourself to a lot of things right now. I'm really enjoying it. Yeah, that's good. I'm going to hold you to it.
I can edit. This is a pre-record, so yeah.
But yeah, so then we have our specialty coaching programs, and those, of course, are staffed by my staff as well, and they have to have a certification for those. Our camps, obviously, everyone's background checked, and we go through all of those, employment practices. But they have to have the right personality, be engaging with children, have the correct experience, but they don't always have to keep up with their credentials in the sport that it is they're coaching. So our coaching programs are a little different in that regard. And then we have, which a lot of people don't know, it's probably our most underutilized service since we began, and that's actually a ski hill. It's called the Biggest Little Ski Hill. It's a dry slope, so it's a giant treadmill that you ski on year-round, and it's a really affordable, economic way to introduce people to skiing or snowboarding. Yeah. And it's really safe, too, for people who are brand new. They get nervous, right, about falling.
Sure.
Or about other people crashing into them or them crashing into, a multi-way accident, whatever.
Yeah.
Or riding on the chairlift, and you don't have to worry about any of that.
That's great.
So, and it's also a good community resource for ski teams, whether they're high school or mountain teams to practice on. So we have one of those. Next year in 2025, if I'm able to fundraise enough money, we're hopefully getting a second one. This first one is one that we, my team of employees, my original team of employees back in 2018, we built ourselves.
Wow.
And designed. I just did a lot of years of research on this and had some people who knew what they were doing. So hopefully we're getting another one this year. But those 4 services, that's kind of what we do. And the way people come to us is a number of ways. So we do have a number of nonprofits in town that we partner with, and a lot of them are doing incredible things in the community, right? They all are. But they provide services. So they might provide childcare services, and they might provide resources to help families access government services, financial aid, acclimation services if they're refugee families, and they help families, survive or thrive when they're having challenging times, whether that's economic, social, but they don't always have physical things for them to do.
Sure.
So they'll say, hey, Megan, we've established relationships. We have this many X number of kids. What do you have coming up? And I'm like, oh, okay, well, we're having a camp this year. Tomorrow is the 5th, right? So tomorrow it's election day. So we're actually, yeah, I know, woo-hoo, goodness.
It's almost over.
Yeah, getting me some anxiety just thinking about it. But we have, okay, cool. You have 10 kids. Well, I have spots for 8 more kids, and tomorrow on election day we're going mountain biking.
Great.
So we provide the equipment, whatever. So these nonprofits send us large groups of kids. We also have individual families, and those obviously they come from other nonprofits. They pay a severely discounted rate, just to help contribute something to our operational costs.
Yeah.
Individual families can always apply. We have separate scholarships on our website for all of our different things that we do that I mentioned. They can apply for a scholarship, and I reach out to them and say, hey, that's great. This is what you want to participate in. Okay, cool. And if they can pay something, we definitely ask them to pay something. We're not in a position to do $0 scholarships anymore because we used to have a lot of people unfortunately not show up. So if it's $5, we hey, $5, cool.
There's some sort of commitment.
Just a little bit of a commitment.
Right.
And then we, on the other end, which I think makes us a little bit different maybe than some other nonprofits, is but I'm finding out that it's coming to be largely beneficial, actually, is we have families, too, who just pay, who don't come on scholarship at all. So I always, call it social entrepreneurship in that sense, even though we are a nonprofit, that say, because, I'm assuming, your lovely daughter out there, I won't mention her name, but,
No, it's okay. She's been on the show. You can
Okay.
Lily.
I wasn't sure Lily was.
Yeah.
But, right,
you.
hopefully, you're raising, her personality is incredible, by the way. But,
I know, I'm in trouble, right?
yes,
Yes,
and
you
I
are.
cannot wait. It's going to be amazing, actually. But, I don't know what your personal economic situation is, but I'm guessing you guys are doing okay. But, no matter what someone's economic situation is, whether they're rolling in dough or whether they're, struggling because of whatever circumstances, every single parent needs things for their kids to do that provide enriching opportunities for them to help develop them into good human beings. And no matter how wonderful a parent you are and how wonderful and supportive of a network you have surrounding you, an extended family, every child still needs coaches. They still need wonderful teachers. They still need other people in their, secondary and tertiary circles that are good mentors.
Absolutely.
So we allow, and that helps us cover the cost of our scholarships, we allow on our website families who are like, oh wow, I want my kid on Monday to try color guard, and Tuesday to do pickleball, and Thursday to play flag football and rugby, and Wednesday to do community service at a local farm organization. That's amazing. I'm willing to pay for that. So those families can pay for that service if they are able.
Well, and me and Lily are really blessed, but I do work in humanitarian fields,
Yeah.
so I don't make a ton of money. But also, I think a forgotten demographic that you guys really support, like myself, are single parents, single full-time dads and moms like myself. That even if you have a decent job, it can still be a tough time to be able to provide those extra opportunities like that, and even pay
100%.
Part of the way or have a little bit of help. It makes a big difference.
Oh, I can only imagine. I'm not a parent myself, to any biological children, but I have lots of other children in my life, obviously. And I can only imagine how hard it is, So, like, if we can just do a little bit to help, families who feel like even like they're somewhere in the middle, because I think that is a really good point you raised too, Chaz, is that we have, obviously, there's lots of opportunities for people who have lots of resources, and then thankfully there's a fair amount of resources. Maybe sometimes they're easier to get, harder to get, but there are people who are stuck in the middle sometimes, right?
100%, like our seniors. Just in the
That's a great
housing
example.
situation. Yeah.
Yep.
So, how can our listeners support you? What's the best ways?
Well, that's a great question. So we do volunteer.
Oh, I gave a thumbs down.
What?
No, stop
No,
that.
thumbs
we gotta
up.
Get it. Fireworks.
Thumbs up.
Fireworks.
Oh, I didn't even see the thumb.
It gave thumbs down. I didn't do it.
Did you ruin my thing?
I guess so. It's
Dude.
not working.
Who gave thumbs?
There it goes. I don't know. The computer read us as doing thumbs down. I don't know.
Oh, no.
Goodness,
No
it's not
thumbs down
doing
I
here.
don't know. We're not thumbs
see.
down. We love skiing is believing.
There's the hearts. I don't know.
So yeah, how can our listeners, our
There we go.
our viewers get involved with you guys and either support you guys financially or volunteer hours or those kinds of things?
So I think if you had asked me this question a year ago, my answer would have been slightly different. You're right, every nonprofit, there's very few profits that are the exception to that. Most need more financial resources and support.
Yeah.
And right now, it's early November. So in October, we just announced a really big campaign, actually.
Wow.
We are, for the first time ever, going to have our own campus.
Woo!
So pretty stoked about that. It's going to be a community resource campus, which is great. We are going to share it with other nonprofits, but lovely, amazing donor purchased a building for us, and it will be our home. We've never had our own home.
Wow.
And that was kind of by design in the sense, because I literally just started skiing as leaving, had these ideas and just put up a website one day and
great.
Yeah.
had a lot of families that I knew, and I just started reaching out and picking up the phone to other, nonprofits at the time and said, hey, we're going to start doing this. Do you have any
great.
kids you want to come? And it was all built like truly, grassroots. So I didn't obviously have the money at the time for us to pay, $5,000 to $7,000 a month in rent. And quite honestly, we still don't have that money right now, but that's why we're doing this campaign.
That's great.
So yeah, hopefully next summer, we'll have our own building, which will be the home base for all of our camps, because doing as many sports as we do. I think we've introduced kids to it's on our website, 53 different sports, I think.
Wow.
You can't, there's not many places where you can do that many sports in one location.
That's crazy.
Right.
So we go to a different place every day, and our campus will allow us to have, for the parents who do parent pickup drop off, same place every single day. It'll just
Nice.
ease the communication and logistics. And for things that we can't do on site at our new building, we'll take the kids on what I'm going to call a field trip to the pool or to the tennis courts. We already drive kids to the ski area. That's already something that we've been doing. But I'm really stoked about that. So we have a lot of money to raise. But by our most recent budget, it's about $270,000 for some capital improvements, some new equipment we're going to need, and we obviously want a decent amount of rent in the bank before we move in.
Of course, yeah.
And on top of that, believe it or not, we have another $70,000 to raise, in addition to the $20,000 we are already given toward the new ski machine. So we'll have 2 ski machines / simulators for people to learn how to ski and ride, or ski and ride better if they're already existing in the sport.
So where can people go to financially support you there?
So skiingisbelieving.org is our website. There's a donation tab at the top and at the bottom. There's you can do it within the page, or you can get redirected to our Zephy page. There's multiple options to do so. And I know not just to be about money, but if anyone's listening and they're like, wow, I love sports. I love doing all these activities myself. I want to volunteer. We do have, a handful of volunteers. Well, I should say we have a bunch, right? But they're not their schedules, obviously, we're not always able to help all the time.
active.
So we're not a volunteer reliant organization like a lot of people are. I have a wonderful staff of 18, I think we're at right now, who are all passionate athletes and love doing things with kids, and they all specialize in different sports. So I rely on them for our actual execution of operations. However, it's always wonderful to have volunteers come along and see what we're doing and just participate. And if someone's looking for a fun day with a group of kids doing something outside or inside, we've got lots of opportunities for that.
Dude, you can volunteer for pickleball.
No.
Nah.
Not a
that's not my
picklballer?
thing.
He's committed to skiing now.
That's
Yeah.
skiing, ice skating, right? You said?
Look, she's recruiting us. She's
Yeah,
trying to recruit us over here.
Yep.
She's like, we got 2 new volunteers over here. We're sitting talking about Good Shepherd, but now they're going to volunteer.
Oh, I love it.
So-
I love it.
Hey, it's great. I mean, that's what it's all about, is organizations coming together. I mean, we have the altruist ladies that come here once a month and help support Good Shepherd and sort clothes in the back. We have Liz McFarland from Project 150. She comes in and helps sort.
Love that.
I mean, that's our mission. That's our heart, is how can we as organizations really come
Collaborate.
together, right? Because it's one thing to say that we want to work together. It's another thing to actively actually do it, right? And it's easy to forget.
Yeah.
It's easy to just say, hey, I'd love to be able to partner with Skiing is Believing in a better way with Good Shepherd, right? But then it's one thing to just say that. Oh, but then I have to finish a letter, or I've got to clean up my emails. Oh, now there's a big mess in the back. I got a bunch of other stuff to do.
It's easy to get
and then
distracted.
and so I have all these other things that come up, and then 3 months later, I'm like, I never made that phone call, right? So having those partnership, having this podcast really has helped us grow our organization because we're able to talk with you for 30 plus minutes about your organization and what's going on in the community, and then it builds that repertoire, right?
Yep.
And that's really important to have that for us as an organization for Front of Mind. What are you laughing about?
You
What's
just
so
cracked me
funny?
up.
I'm
just loving that there's going to be another person to give bad dad jokes.
Oh no!
Oh, that's what he's thinking about.
I'm thinking about what annoying toys. I always say this. I'm when I go shopping now, I'm looking for loud toys for you and Nika.
He's
Baby
born
Steve.
now. I'm just at this point. He's born.
I know.
So
They still have to be age appropriate though. No small pieces, but
yeah,
I'm gonna
thank
find,
you.
karaoke
Thanks for not
machine
killing my
and-
kid. I appreciate
It'll
it.
be easier as he gets older.
No, please, if you guys have means to volunteer or support Skiing is Believing at,
Skiingisbelieving.org.
You got it, Chess.
that's it.
I like to listen to our guests.
Burn.
Jeez, bud.
Is it aloe vera for that bird?
And if
I
yeah, go ahead.
will say too, I mean, I'd love completely what you're saying, and like the notion of, practicing what you preach. And I've really always tried very hard to do that in Skiing is Believing. And if you go to our partners page on our website, or the About Us page on our website, we have a graphic on the About Us page that shows how many people we've worked with, and everyone's logo is on the partners page. And there's well over 100 organizations that we've worked with, whether they're places that just let us bring kids for the day, or they're a nonprofit that sends us children, whether they're a nonprofit that allows us to organize, like to volunteer there, or whether they're like a community business or organization that has sponsored a kid to come to camp.
Right.
There's a lot, and that's really, really important to me. And what I will say, if anyone is listening, and this is certainly true for you guys, because I don't think this is the case right now, but we try to put out a newsletter every month, and I've definitely had parents ask me who are like on our email list, like, Meg, like, why do you have the upcoming fundraiser for the Good Shepherd's Closet or for this animal shelter or whatever in your newsletter? Like, that has nothing to do with what you're doing. I'm like, yeah, but it does, because it's community,
100%.
And truly like having to work together. So, if anyone is listening and they are part of a community organization that's doing something positive, like shoot me an email, info@skiingisbelieving.org, add me to your email list, or so I can keep up to date on events and fundraisers and things that are happening in the community. I've put in Project 150 before, so that way, families who pay attention to our emails, and, I know not every family reads every single email, right? You get a lot in your inbox. But, if they need other resources, I want to be a connector to help connect them to things beyond just what we're doing. Because this is, Reno is an amazing community in terms of, there are so many nonprofits and people doing really, really great things. So I don't think that a vacuum really exists here, to be honest. Like we're right. The problems that a lot of organizations are trying to solve still exist, but I don't think there's a problem that exists that doesn't have an organization trying to work on it. If that
people just aren't aware about it, or aware about it. It's been a long Monday.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a great point. Definitely, and it's all about working together and trying to lift each other up. So, thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of what we're doing here at Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
And we are all about the community. Please visit getclothes.org if you want to find out more about what we're doing. We talk about our micro closet expansion project. We talk about the podcast and all of the other things we're doing, and you can always donate online to us there, or if you want to volunteer, please visit getclothes.org. We help 700 people a month, no matter what. We're asking you to come alongside and help one. All right, guys, thank you so much.
Take care,
We'll
guys.
see you next week.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here, Megan.
No, thank you so much for having me. Appreciate it.